He's dancing like that baby.
Yeah.
The way to dance like that goes on.
The dancing baby. He's about the right age.
Live from beautiful downtown HIALEAH and everybody's favorite comic book shop, the Goblin Heights. Tonight, the new comic book review and claim sale. Tonight, for the first time ever, on the short bus is Eric on the short bus. On the passenger seat is Freebie, and as always, the lovely Italian, the one and only Mr. Navarro. Give it up for Mr. Navarro. Get the people going. Exciting, huh? Wow, my pants are tight again.
He's extremely excited.
Yeah, always.
And then we always get a commercial after.
Yeah, we get a commercial after. We gotta,
We are Liver on Facebook. I wrote it
Oh,
right.
look, Kenny's back.
Kenny's back. Shazam! He's just happy that Puerto Rico won the baseball world,
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
whatever the thing is.
won?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know they're gonna be insoportable now. Like now you gotta, we won now, right? We.
Puerto Ricans are insufferable.
Like dancing, celebrating. Somebody got hurt.
That happens all the time
Oh,
to
God,
Puerto Ricans.
dancing, celebrating. You ever seen the Puerto Rican Day Parade?
Puerto Ricans hurt themselves just walking. What are you talking about? Kenny, he trips over his penis all the time.
Him and his beer. And they beat DR. So that is some bragging rights up the ass. That's gonna be. Man, that guy out here, they're Puerto
It's not
Ricans.
over yet, though. I had a feeling. I don't know. The U.S. is gonna. If Puerto Rico won, I'm like, what the hell? What did the U.S. do?
Hold on, sorry, I'm like fucking having problems here. Trying to set this up. Why is this being a bitch?
Well, there's nothing more exciting than dead air.
Dead air, that's the best. We're expert
Dead air, yeah.
at dead air.
By the way, we will be this Sunday at.
Saturday.
No, it's Sunday.
Sunday,
It's a Sunday.
Miami Comic-Con.
Miami Comic Con. We will be there. Selling our tchotchkes.
All right, now I'm back in the room. Fabian says, "Did I do that?" I don't know.
Oh, look, they play Mexico on Saturday. But are
Wow,
Mexicans
wow.
actually good baseball players?
No.
They like baseball, but they don't.
They
We
kind
watch
of.
baseball.
Wait,
Oh, you're Mexican too?
We play half Mexican,
Yeah,
half
go,
Salvadorian.
I'm Mexican too. There you go. Yeah, sabes. Viva la raza!
I don't know. I think you guys might start shooting people.
Do you carry a knife?
Oh, boys.
Do you carry a knife?
It's a custom shank.
All right, then you're Mexican enough.
A half and a half make a whole, dude.
Yeah, it's like a whole Mexican episode.
Yeah.
When our powers combine.
All I know is if if your tires are missing at the end of
Yeah,
this, I mean,
now we
it's
gotta
just
turn the cameras back on and
Yeah,
everything. These guys.
no, jeez,
Mexicans.
the Mexicans in here.
Can't keep their
Jesus
hands off
Christ. Anyway, there was that, and then we're gonna be at Magic City. I want to say Magic City, Miami Comic Con.
Miami Comic Con.
Damn it, what is I want to see the exact date is March 19th, Sunday. Miami Comic Con 4, I think it is. Yep, the 4th show. It's gonna be Miami, March 19th. At the Pullman Miami Airport, 5800 Blue Lagoon Drive, Miami, Florida.
Used to be the old Sofitel.
Yeah, you can get the MiamiCon.com, and then you can also follow them on Instagram. I haven't posted on the Fakata Instagram. I think it's on the. I should be posted tomorrow on the Goblin's Heist thing. Yeah, but we'll be there selling comics, selling our wares, selling our stuff. I gotta take some stuff for that actually.
Maybe even sell it ourselves.
A little bit, you never know. That's the thing that's gonna happen.
Gotta pay the bills.
Oh wait, this is the wrong one. What the hell?
Kenny keeps talking about the baseball. He's excited about it. He beat Colombia last night.
No, he says he beat a Colombian last night.
He beat a Colombia.
That's the thing, Now they see if it was the fucking, the domestic violence league, Mexicans would wait. Oh, I come from the Slapaho tribe. What are you talking about? Mexicans just like, that's just like the fucking Right Cross, the Red Cross event. Dinner's too cold. Dinner's too cold. You know what the
Random Tuesday.
bitch? What'd you say? You know, stuff like that. And then then they also compete. You know, like try to slap a Mexican woman. She knows how to fucking move. She's like, huh.
How about that? Where's my drink toss? You throw something at people.
Where's my fucking drink? And then you have to do who's gonna believe you arm grab. Who's gonna believe you? And you hoist them up and making something that's so horrible funny.
Yeah,
That's all. My fucking shit's all messed up. Are we being seen as people talking?
I don't know. I think we're live. Are you seeing it? Let me see if we can see
We're
it.
on, but I don't see the comments. And then
Nobody say that you can see us. Just to troll a little bit.
You know, we're not very technically savvy.
Yeah, we're here.
Kenny, are you there?
yeah, you guys can see it. Okay, as long as you guys can see it, because on my laptop it's not coming out.
Call the internet and see if we're working.
Do you want to use my iPad?
No, I got my phone. I'll just go on there. Just because I don't see the comments, that's the only thing.
Well, freebie's on now. There you go. Yes, I see. Freebie, see.
Am I the only guy watching now?
Okay. Yes, I see.
Nothing happened. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Alright, I guess I have to see it from here, and my laptop is not doing the thing. Oh well. Anyway, no, we got like 3 people now.
Oh,
So, geez, Jose.
Sorry, dude.
Gotta bring him down the room and shit.
Jose.
That's fucking freebie.
Who the fuck is Jose?
Some guy's using my profile, dude.
That's kind of... He changed his name. They changed your name to Jose, too.
No, well.
You got hacked in real time.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
My name is Frivelio Monte de Oca, dude.
Fidelio.
Fidelio?
Fidelio.
Fidelio. Yo.
You have to roll your fucking R's, bro.
Fidelio.
Yeah.
Montes de Oca.
Fidelio?
Montes de Oca.
Montes de Oca.
Yo, do you make pizza?
Well, it's
Yeah.
related to the guy.
Didn't you know that I was the one that like gassed everything and made everything on fire so you get the insurance?
Insurance.
Did that happen finally? Did they catch him on that or that? No.
Yeah, it's a rumor.
It's a rumor. Come on. Everybody was like,
Well, I don't know, because they that one burned down, and then the one here, they just knocked it all, like, just so I can put those apartments here in Hialeah.
something happened, bro. Like, something happened.
Someone
Yeah,
did it.
yeah, somebody had to, like, Yeah. The pizza, it got too hot.
Because they're all gone. I'm like, at least locally.
No, I think there's one left in Little Havana.
No, I'm saying here, and locally.
In Hialeah?
Both of them are gone.
Carlos Hernandez didn't like that kind of pizza.
No?
Oh, Polo Norte.
Polo Norte?
All about the Polo Norte down here.
My stomach hurt just thinking about that pizza.
Dude, I had Polo Norte recently. I guess just Cuban pizza. It's just very fucking heavy, man.
It's a heavy ass, thick fucking.
Neapolitan pizza. That's the Italian one. That's a square, really bready one. What's it called again? Neapolitan, right?
Neapolitan? I think so. I think you're right. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same.
But it has like nothing to do with Napoli because it's like the Napoli pizza is a thin fucking thing with like fucking sauce and.
Which is a thick Italian?
No, Neapolitan. There's that one because then there's Detroit style, which they call it Detroit style. Then there's the other one that's like, I don't know
Well,
what
I
the
want to
fuck.
try Detroit style. They put the honey on it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
No,
Yeah.
why do you have to do it like this when you put the honey on it?
Because
Get that sauce out.
that's
Bro.
the
When
way.
you put the honey on it.
That was something that Andre taught me. Andre's watching it. He told me, hey, when you put the honey, you do it like this.
You do it like that. You just like right on it, and you go,
Yeah.
Whenever you need some
Eh.
sauce.
Yeah, so
and you
Andre
yell
said-
at it. You yell at the pizza, be open wide.
Andre said, when you put the
Keep
honey
your eyes
on it,
open.
Make
I
sure
went-
you shake it. And
Yeah.
it's like, that last
You
touch.
put 2 olives so it looks like it's looking up at you.
Yeah,
And
you go like
just
this.
1 pepper, like.
And then you hit it with the tip of the
Little
bottle.
yeah.
They appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we digress.
And then you
again.
spit.
Time to sell
Cool.
some comics, bro.
Anyway,
Anyway, back to...
you have to spit on it. Anyway, Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Is this like a standalone or?
This is an actual comic. They are bringing back
I know
the
it's a-
character, the Death Dealer. They actually, I hate spoiling things, but he gets.
Do you, though?
He gets resurrected. You know, the Death Dealer is dead, but he gets resurrected. So he is resurrected, and he is dealing death. If you like,
He's dealing death and Death
Oh,
Dealer.
he's dealing
Holy
death and
shit!
doom, and he's hacking and slashing, and he's summoning his black horse. And now, for some apparent reason, his black horse could fly. Now,
Why can't he fly? Because he's black.
No, it has nothing to do with it. Listen, I like the traditional Death Dealer from the original. What was that movie called? Fire and Ice?
All black horses stayed on the ground.
What was Death Dealer was on Fire and Ice, right?
No, not really.
Yes, he was.
No, that's it. You're thinking about the hunter guy. That's the.
He's very similar.
Death Dealer never became any. He was just a singular character that was in a painting. And since then, people have written all this shit about it.
The hunter is what I got confused with. You're absolutely correct. Why did they have to make the horse fly? Fuck that.
Well, that's like superhero shit. I mean, now it's getting in the realm of Thor and
so
mythical.
Death resurrected. They brought him back because there's some ice guy, and he's trying to take over this place. And
well, that's a classic painting.
I love that artwork. If you're a Frank Frazetta fan, definitely hot book into D&D.
Well, they made him a Pegasus.
Yeah, it's with wings. I said it.
Oh, I didn't hear the wings part.
Yeah, it's a flying horse.
And now he's like, we are Death Dealer.
You made it seem like it was just a horse with no wings.
No,
yeah, that's it, right?
No,
okay, you didn't say the wings part.
Like
see, that's the thing.
I said it was
like his tail is just twirling something.
That would have been more interesting.
He's a more Milo.
He would have been like that thing from that little raccoon guy.
Mm-hmm.
The book is interesting. It didn't hold me down as much. I've read other fantasy books that I enjoyed more. I actually liked more. Oh my god, the one with the axe talks.
Barbaric.
I like Barbaric more than this. This book took its. I do like seriousness, but yes, it was so serious that there was just parts of it that was like, oh my god.
But is he dealing death?
Yes and no, because this wizard is kind of controlling him, which I don't like either. I just want him to kill the fucking wizard too. So I don't want to.
That's what's called a plot.
He's going. I kind of spoiled it a lot. The art is good. Not gonna dodge on the art. The writing is a little. It is the first issue. They're trying to develop the character, I guess. Death Dealer really was a standalone character. I would have liked him to be by himself. And instead of resurrecting them, I would like him to have been already alive, just killing people on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my issue with it. Good book. I give it 3.
Yeah.
For the art.
Okay.
And I'm a Frazetta fan. So I try to take up everything that's Frazetta.
Okay. The painting, the cover painting is worth it, just for the cover painting.
Well, the other cover, the original cover, that's cover B. I like the A cover a lot more. If people aren't familiar with Frank Frazetta's artwork, I really recommend you look it up. One of the greatest fantasy artists of all time. And this is actually being published by his granddaughters, which...
the Frazetta girls with Sarah Frazetta. Sarah and Holly. Well, that's his granddaughter, Sarah.
Yeah, so...
She's been doing a lot. She just did like an art show up in Boca Raton.
So, we have a little bit of connection with them. We love these girls. I think they're amazing.
They're good people.
They're great people. They're amazing talents. But the writing could have been a little bit stronger on the book.
Mm-hmm.
Art A, writing
2 out of 5.
3
out of 5. I mean, I would get it just for the cover.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a pretty good reproduction of the painting.
And the Frazetta girls do a lot of Florida shows, so they are going to be at MegaCon. So if you're going to MegaCon, definitely pick it up. Get a Frazetta girl autograph. Is Sarah Frazetta in the credits? Is Sarah and Holly in the credits in there or
not? Not in the front stuff.
Yeah, but maybe as publishers or whatever.
After the cover B, there's no real mention of them. Remember, the family split up with the rights, so I think this could be Frank Frazetta Jr. That could be, the uncle that was crazy.
They had some personal stuff.
Yeah. All right.
This had to do with the girls.
All right, next up, this was from last week supposedly, but it's called The Red Zone #1 from, what's it called? This is got AWA.
Alonso's book.
Yeah.
I love that cover.
The cover's good. The inside's really fucking good. It's written by Cullen Bunn, but instead of him doing horror, which he does all the time, this is more like a spy thriller thing. It's a whole thing that having to deal with this one guy who's like an expert in Russia. He's like a, professor type, kind of dude, nerdy guy. He's doing a class. There's a nice intro to it. Deodato does some amazing artwork in it. He doesn't phone it in like he does sometimes. But he's adopted by this group that's supposed to be extracting this woman who's prominent ex-ballerina from Russia and all this other stuff. Supposedly she's a spy. She knows too much. So they're going to extract her out. And they try to extract her, and that's where and he has to go with them because they know each other from the past. And I'll leave it at that from there. Really good fucking spy story. Really good kind of like, I was into it. I wasn't like, there are a couple of things that they do writing wise that I thought was fun because there's some parts there where they're like, oh, here's these characters and there's windows and there's this guy and then this guy. And you're like, oh wow, okay, they're going to be part of the cast. You're going to, like, nope. Like that guy, no, I guess you don't fall in love with that guy. Oh, that's so-and-so, fuck them. Oh, that guy's on fire. So, at the end, there's a little twist in it. It's kind of interesting. Definitely makes me want to read issue 2. I always say a good comic is a comic that makes you want to read the next one. And the artwork is really good by Deodato. There's times that I feel like he phones it in with some of these things where I know he uses figures.
Because that cover is great.
I think so. I think this is why I picked up this cover because it's a Deodato cover.
Yeah, it's a cover I picked up.
Yeah. So this is a really good one. If you want a spy thriller book or something like that, this is definitely like a 4 out of 5, almost a 5 for me. I think this might be my pick of the week because that was a really, really, really good story. I was like, I was pleasantly surprised and I dug it.
I wish I would have read that one because you're saying that's a really good story, but I read a really good story too earlier today.
Okay.
There's a couple good ones this week too.
All right. So definitely pick. What did you think, Eric?
Yeah.
So what's the scale? 1 out of 5?
Yeah.
I think a 4 is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 is good. Yeah, I really liked it. This is the one where the panels are kind of presented. It's almost like a chaotic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There was some parts where I read across.
Same.
Because I was like, oh, okay, I'll read across because that's where it's blending in. Because as you can see, the panel work and everything else, which can be very confusing. Because sometimes you go, you see this bleed into this kind of.
Right.
Not this one so much, but the one time where he's talking to the professor in the office. It was like I had to reread it like twice. I was like,
where I knocked a star off just because it was a little like.
Yeah, right. This one I was like, oh, okay.
The art is spectacular, and the story paneling is
okay.
Is a technique that the artist wanted to use.
Yeah. And it makes it interesting. The only thing is Deodato sometimes uses his photorealistic style of drawing figures. He sometimes I'm thinking he uses poser or he uses photographs to do it.
And aren't those guys on the cover some movie stars or something?
No, I don't know about movie stars.
Like
he does it sometimes. That does look like somebody familiar. I feel like somebody
familiar.
Steve
McQueen to me.
I mean, that could be something that he's willing to go. He's going for as far as feel, but he uses his own photographs. He puts his own stuff together. There's some. He did a book. It was a Fourth Wall or one of those. He did one that it's an awesome story, but he literally uses Harvey Keitel as the main character.
Wow.
So every time you're reading, I'm like, oh, this is Harvey Keitel from Reservoir Dogs. This is Harvey Keitel from The Piano. This is Harvey Keitel. Like you could tell the panels where he took it from, and then when it's like you could tell he didn't have photo reference and he kind of just sketched it. It didn't look like the character, so there was like problems like that. That's my biggest problem. And then there's some books that he looks like he went here, and there you have a comic. And the other times that he's like, like he's really putting time into it. It looks like he put time into this.
Yeah, I know.
So,
it looks spectacular.
Excellent stuff. This is my pick of the week. I would definitely say pick this up, read it. It's good. Let me see if there's anything on there. All right. And next book. Let's go to, why not, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, 40 Years. This is book 2.
It is a strong book. It's still going strong. Mikey is going out to find his master's old friend and more training. It slows down a little bit. It does.
It's wordy as fuck.
It is. It is very wordy. But it's Mikey explaining and saying what he's going through. And his brother's talking to him. I don't know if it's his mind or...
Well, it's this prequel-sequel thing that they're trying to do where they're dealing with the new Turtles and Casey, the new Casey, Casey Jones's daughter, Casey, is, training the new Turtles, talking about old tales. Then it'll flash back to a tale of him being trained when it was before the events of Ronin itself happening, and him finding this new trainer, trying to go after the dragon worm or purple worm or whatever, death worm, which is another tribe or something. It does, get into a whole other subsect. It does reveal what Yamato Yoshi did before he became Splinter in this one storyline. So that was interesting. And then the idea of also the new Turtles, how they act, is very different from...
I'm not feeling so much the new Turtles.
No, because there's a lot...
Maybe because
they're little dicks. They're little assholes to each other. And
I don't like them. And
they don't have the same camaraderie.
Especially the one that's kind of like, I don't know if he's a slow turtle or
yeah.
call him? Odin?
Slow turtle? Why do you look at Freebie when you say that? The slow turtle, you know?
Freebie.
He's a little freebie, you know?
I take that back. It has nothing to do with Freebie. But yeah, there is a slow turtle from the new ones. And I don't know if I like the direction they're going with the new turtles, or maybe they're still training them and maybe they'll grow out of it.
Well, who's not annoying when they're a kid?
Yeah, I guess.
You know, when they're a kid, it's like that there's that forgiveness factor, and maybe that's the whole aspect of it going deep and dark enough so that when you get to the light, you appreciate the travel, you appreciate the whole story arc of them becoming a team.
Okay.
So it's a prequel and sequel, which I'm not a big on.
Every one of these last Ronin books I have until right now have been the pick of the week for me.
Mm-hmm. Until right now.
This is not my pick of the week. It is a good book, and I do want to continue reading it.
It's a hell of a read, man. There were some parts there that I was like, holy shit. Like, it takes a while. You're going to get enough. You get plenty of story for your money.
But let me tell you, Mikey swims from Korea to Japan.
No, he doesn't fucking swim from Korea to Japan. He
Yes,
takes a boat. There's a whole part there where he gets in.
No, he leaves China. No. He swims from Korea to Japan.
Damn, he ended up in China.
No,
he has to.
He's from Japan to Mongolia on a boat. And then, yes, he jumps off this boat.
What is he, Cuban?
He took a train, bro.
No, there's a part that he does take a train. It's like planes, trains, and automobiles and swimming. But it is impressive how, how Mikey has gotten bigger and stronger.
Yeah, he's stronger as a mutant.
He's more impressive than what he used to just be. So, not my pick of the week. I'm still giving it 4 stars, not 5, because it is a slow grind.
I mean, there's a whole training montage.
I do need to, and I didn't like another part that I didn't like, that during the training they had him cleaning. It was so Mr. Miyagi.
It's to humble yourself. A lot of places do
but I don't know,
that.
does every sensei make you clean a house?
And that's the best way to fucking,
Yeah, I guess.
Then we do that to Freebie when he first showed up. We're like, clean the bathroom.
I still gotta clean the house.
But one day you will be a master of comic books.
Until then, you put on that French maid uniform that we got you, and you clean the fucking bathrooms, and let me watch.
Yeah. By the way, we got Carla on waving at us. Hey, Carla. Carla Leguanoa, if I'm pronouncing it right. Obviously, I'm not.
You know when you pronounce stuff in like syllables and
Leganoa.
When you pronounce something that ends like in a question,
it's like
Leganoa.
Probably got it wrong, yeah. More likely I got it wrong.
And if not, you do what all my substitute teachers did: just say the name horribly wrong, and with confidence. Juan Navarro. Juan Navarro. That Aaron shit. I was like, oh fuck, that's a thing. I had that in school.
I had a teacher that misspelled my last name. I corrected her, and she literally told me, she's like, no, you're saying it wrong. And I'm like, okay, lady.
Juan Navarro.
Last Ronin, or?
Not yet. No, it's on I already have a healthy backlog going, but sometime this weekend.
There you go.
All right, so it's been fun. If you're a fan of the original Ninja Turtles, if you know the whole story, I'm talking from the Mirage days and everything, they've been able to get past, which is the City at War storyline, which is a big central story. Like the first time they fight Shredder beats their ass. They go off to a farm. They have to train. Michelangelo's all messed up. There were a bunch of different artists doing different sides of that book at that time. They were able to really do something crazy and have different ways. That's the Mirage books. Those are the best, but that's the best ones to fucking read.
Back now, I'm reading the IDW stuff.
The IDW stuff is good. It is very good. Mirage was the original hunky, Eric Talbot was working on it. Rick Veitch was working on it. You're talking about legends in the industry that worked them.
Japanese guy doing charcoal pencils.
That wasn't a Japanese guy. That was Michael Zulli. And no Japanese guy. It just you just saw that with Ching Chang Chong, and that's it. And he's there like,
maybe for Wad's right, maybe I am racist.
And then he hits a gong and goes has lunch and shit. That's what you think is gonna happen? Like, no, man, God.
Me and my stereotypes.
All right, next up, Immoral X-Men #2. I read the first issue and I read this issue. You got anybody read it?
No.
It keeps getting more fucked up. I'm enjoying this book because it's just one of those things where don't have any hope, don't get married to anybody, don't ever think a character's just going to stay around. And what's happening is that you're starting to see that the core, pretty much 5 of the SInister Council, which is like Professor Xavier, White Queen, Hope, all these, now they're turning on each other. Like, so Sinister's plan he's anticipated this kind of too, and he's like, oh, well, the good thing about being me, and since I put my genes in all these people, is after a while I know they're going to start fighting each other for power, because I'm a power-hungry fucker, and they're going to be power-hungry fuckers, because I'm in there. So after a while, it's going to implode, and they're going to kill all each other. I just have to find a way to get around this and survive. And so he's trying to survive it, and he creates one really interesting character named Rasputin 4. Rasputin 1, 2, and 3 were what were called chimeras, which were mixes of different things. Rasputin 4 is the perfection of it, has 5 different power sets. Kitty Pryde's phasing, Colossus's metal body, some of the force field works, magic sword, some telepathy from another character, and everything else. She's like the perfect warrior to be a captain on this new fucking, like, mega clone whatever fucking power, like whatever. Ends up at the end injecting her with the one thing to make sure she stays good and honest on his side, and takes the SInister gene out. Her thing goes away and she's not a SInister. So she's her own character now. So that's really cool. They build a fucking ship that can travel using Lila Cheney's fucking teleportation, using armored shields. They made a fucking ship like a mega Blackbird called the Marauder, and it can teleport across. So there's like a Star Trek thing to it. So they even like Warp Factor X, which is them teleporting. And then there's a whole other part which has Hope, whose immune ability is that she has, for a certain area, she has everybody's mutant power as long as she's in that area. Whatever mutant's there, she can access their mutant power.
That's it.
So she's been, Hope Summers is considered the one, and the one to bring everything else.
What's your face kind of had that similar.
Rogue
has to touch.
But I had to touch it. Yeah. Hope doesn't. She
only had one at a time.
Yeah. She has all the powers.
Damn.
So Hope kicks the shit out of everybody as long as she has the chimeras around and everything else. She has all their powers and everything else. And so there's a twist in it. I don't want to mess it up for anybody that's in here that I'm like, oh shit, damn, they fucked it. So that was really cool. So it's cool to see the progression in the story, especially in this book, because I know there's other main books.
You're also a big X-Men fan.
Yeah, I have a degree in X-Men.
Yes.
I have to do
it. For me, I used to read the X-Men, but I did drop out of X-Men.
It was a bitch. It's a bitch. They did so much stupid, crazy shit to it that it's hard to keep up with.
X-Men was so much fun back in the day, but then they just had too many titles for me, and I kind of dropped it. I want to get back into it, especially since you've been talking so highly of this book. So I'll probably pick this up myself, just to see a little. What was it? A little Colossus being thrown in the air?
Yeah.
Was it Colossus or no Juggernaut?
Juggernaut. They miniaturized him into a bullet, shot him out of a cannon, went through a teleportation gate, and went through Thanos' head.
Yeah. I have to pick it up just for that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. And then Juggernaut kept going, and they're like, whatever. And they just left him going off in the spaces. Like, they're like, fuck it. We're like, should we get?
See you next dark.
You know.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. So there's a lot of that fucked upness in it, and seeing the mixture of powers, like they made a version of Mystique that has Wolverine's healing factor. She has like Gambit's kinetic powers, has the blades and the bone from Marrow, all this other shit that mess with make these perfect soldiers, but they all fall apart because there's too many X genes in one person. So they're using these like kind of chimeras to take over there, and what they're doing is conquering and destroying anybody who could be possibly a threat. So every time they go to a planet, they're like, oh, how you doing? So at one point, they used... I got to read it, because it's the craziest thing. There was one part there that I was like, no way did they do this. It was insane. Because she goes to one planet, and they're like, I think planets that were like pretty much siding against them, and they were like, how do we get rid of a galaxy? So then they're called L-bombs. So the L-bomb is a 4-gift chimera. Unstable, so they're stored in a Tempest stasis vault until needed. Anyone with Lila Cheney's gift can teleport to anywhere they've been in the universe, and then they get my psychic imprint of the destination. They're good to go. The L-bomb arrives, and the 3 other gene payloads kick in. Firestar, who's nuclear, plus Leland, who can increase mass, plus Micromax, who can shrink and get bigger. Nuclear fission plus increasing mass plus increasing scale equals a planet splitter. Yeah. So using these 4 puts them on different planets, triggers them, blows up the planets, destroys the galaxy.
Jesus Christ.
Using 3 mutants' powers at the same time, like fucking bombs. So I was like, oh shit.
like what's his face? Like Andre Lopeza.
Yeah. Every time he comes here, we're all like, dude. We know it's a good comic though. You know, just don't ever get a pizza from him. That's what I'm saying.
Good guy, I like him.
You know, so almost my pick of the week. I mean, the other book beat it because the only reason why I wouldn't say the pick of the week, for me, it was excellent. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. This is fun. But I have a degree in X-Men. I've read X-Men for years. Yeah. I've tried to keep up. Even now, I have problems. There's pockets that I don't know. And there's when they mention a character, I'm like, oh, fuck, gotta get on my fucking phone and be like, who's that guy again? You know, luckily Leland, he's been around since like issue 119 or something like that. But you see them messing with the mutant powers and everything, this is the kind of fan fiction bullshit kind of stuff that I can enjoy. I like it. Great fucking stuff. And has been a good story. Because it's still like, if you don't know about this, it's fine. You'll be a little lost, but it's still a good story. Because like, it's showing this is not good and evil. This is evil and eviler and the evilest, and let's see who wins. So you kind of like, it's like Game of Thrones. Now it's like, okay, what asshole's going to win?
Yeah.
So definitely 4 out of 5 if you're an X-Men fan. 5 out of 5.
Awesome. Hold on. Papa Likes Comics is on. Yeah, I was going to see if you wanted to join us because he did want to see if you could join us.
Live from Miami Springs. Oh no, you're going to do the thing?
Well, I'm sending him the invite.
Yeah, but don't end it like last time, dude.
No, I did it the wrong way last time, but now I know what I'm doing. I've learned.
You've said that before.
No, I'm actually.
This is the plane going down. Now I know what I'm doing.
Oh wait, he's not on now. Well, fucker, he was on a second ago.
He ran away.
He did run away.
He knew it was coming.
He's like literally ran out of his house.
He's saying he's having technical issues now.
Mm-hmm. We all have that. There's pills for that.
Happens to me when I don't want to work.
Yeah, that's what I tell my girlfriend. I'm tired. You know.
Well, he read Berserker. He was going to review Berserker. How many stars on your Berserker review, Fabian? Oh, well, wait for that one.
There could be other technical issues. You know, he's at home. He has his kids.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Or maybe he's naked.
Yeah, he's naked.
4 stars.
4 stars. There you go.
Berserker, good book.
But also, he's naked.
He's naked. Yeah.
He's naked. He's there like that. 4 stars.
I think he said 4 stars.
4 stars.
Fabian's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't mind seeing him naked, right?
No.
You want to see what's happening. You want to see what.
I think there's.
You know, when you look at a car, you go, "What's under the hood? What's over there? What's going on there? Huh? Is it a put motor?
Yeah.
Or are we talking about V12?
There's a lot going on with Fabian. He's a good guy.
Is he an EV?
Yeah.
Is he a diesel?
He's got the mustache going back on again.
Yeah. You know, you just get that and the handles start coming out, and that's it.
That's all he needs.
And like Samson, every time they cut it, they take away his power.
He had higher hopes for Sergeant Rock's ending.
Oh, Sergeant Rock ended.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really. Well, I wouldn't have put too much on that, just because Sergeant Rock was a typical zombie story kind of thing, but it had that grit and that coolness to it. So we thought, you know.
I like those old school covers that they were doing too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right.
To read that one.
Last but not least, Hellcat #1.
My pick of the week.
Really?
Yes.
Your pick of the week?
I love the art.
I read this super fast, so I was just kind of like, shit, you know?
Yeah, but they introduced at the end and is confessing to...
you know, but...
Did you see who that was?
Yeah. I mean, well, Sleepwalker's in the issue.
Okay.
You know, we know. But there was a whole thing about, there was what she found under the boards.
Well,
was that supposed to be the Imaginator, or was it the badge? I didn't get that. I was reading it so fast.
It's a little confusing, too, because also I don't know a lot about the story of Hellcat, but I did like that they bring back, what's his face? Oh, my God.
Sleepwalker?
Sleepwalker. I just said the name. Like, fucking old guy here. I like the artwork. I like the paneling. I liked a lot of things in this book. I like the story. I was able to actually. I like the character more, and I empathize more with her because I felt that she went through a lot. Her father left her when she was little, and then her mother called her weak, and then they show her like even as a young girl how she became lost and started drinking and taking pills and doing all these other stuff. So she is to me a true anti-hero, not because of it was because of her upbringing and what ended up happening to her in her life, and that caused her to be who she is now. Yeah. And now I have a better understanding of the character, and I really like that, so I can see where this character came from and how she became who she is and what she is now.
Yeah.
Now there is that side story that there is a murder in her past that she has been accused of, but apparently there's somebody else that might have caused this that alters realities and everything else. It's a little bit complicated when they go into back and forth and realities and stuff like this. But the artwork was solid on the book. I love the paneling on a lot of these pages where they were structured differently than normal. Yeah. And then they talk about this other Hellcat comic book, which was the original Hellcat back in the...
Well, Patsy Walker.
Yeah. And they show even pages of the old book, which I thought was super cool, too. And they make fun of her because she's dressed up as Hellcat. Because she gets arrested as a little girl. And they're interrogating her and everything. So, 5 stars for me, bro.
It was a good story. I just read it super fast, so there was a lot of parts that I had question mark. And the main thing is, what I understand is that what she found under the stand might have been the Star brand, which is
reality thing.
The Imaginator.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So that's something kind of cool. So they're really because there's been talk about Sleepwalker and Sleepwalker coming back to the Marvel Universe and Sleepwalker being in the MCU and I'm just like, dude, why? Why does Sleepwalker was one of those books back then that they came out? It was like Darkhawk, Sleepwalker. They were like these number ones. Nova was kind of like that too when they brought back Nova, even though Nova was around in the Bronze Age. But when they brought it, and like number 1, here it goes, this is Sleepwalker, and we're like, who? Yeah. We're like, what the fuck? But it has this weird following. It was like DC had Ragman.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like...
Well, supposedly this guy can also alter realities, and he's super powerful, too.
Yeah, he's not a joke. Sleepwalker is part of it.
But the guy doesn't even know his powers.
Well, he literally sleepwalks. Sleepwalker is one identity, and then there's himself. When he goes to bed, he becomes a sleep. Yeah. And so now there's an investigation because supposedly Sleepwalker did something, and there's a bunch of shit. Well, so there's a lot of layers.
It was Sleepwalker or somebody else either, but he's not even sure. They're not even sure who killed him.
So it's a good story.
Great story.
And like I said, it makes you want to read issue 2.
The covers,
you kind of want to know what's going on.
I love this cover. I love the Scotty Young cover, even though we did something similar with Black Panther. Remember?
What?
The Scotty Young cover. Kenny did something similar.
Oh, yeah. Wow, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not.
So you can see it.
Yeah, but it's not like.
You guys have one that was
with the Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther playing with the ball of yarn. But, I mean, a cat playing with a ball of yarn. So, Black Cat, Scotty Young did a Black Cat with her playing with a ball of yarn before we did.
Oh, we did. Okay.
So, I mean, the whole cat playing with a ball of yarn isn't like, holy shit, you reinvented the wheel.
Well, I thought we did.
You sliced the bread or something, like, it's not like...
Oh, I think very highly of us, I think that, we think of things, we're like the innovators of innovators, but, what am I to know?
Oh, yeah, then there's... What was it? Oh, Fabian was talking about League of Comic Geeks, DC Legion of Bloom, #1. I think it's a one-shot. It has a story of Blue Beetle going to Little Havana in Miami.
What is
It's
this?
not out yet. It's coming out.
He had sent this.
DC's Legion of Bloom.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
So, it's written by the guy who wrote Frontera, which was that image book that we had for a while here.
Okay. Does he go stop by Ball and Chain?
Supposedly, there's a bunch of famous landmarks. The guys from here, the writers from Miami, gave him pictures of different shit from Calle Ocho. I don't know about Ball and Chain. I mean, that is a landmark now, but it's not like been there forever either.
Stone Crab, yeah.
Okay, Joe Stone Crab, the Torch, the movie theater, there's a bunch of other stuff. The MDC, the Miami-Dade, we've been there for fucking premieres, bro. That's been there forever. There's a bunch of stuff that you can get into.
What you call that by size?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
For size, yeah. That's
So
for
did you
sure.
read Hellcat?
No.
Eric didn't do a lot of reading this week.
It's a good reading. It's a good read. It's actually worthwhile. And what I like is seems to be self-contained. You don't have to read like a billion other issues. You don't have to read, Marvel does this fabulous thing too.
That's one thing.
When you read anything, you read this top part, you're caught up,
As someone that's been away from like comic books and Marvel stuff in general, like I feel that's one thing. Like as an outsider, it feels sometimes it's hard to get into it.
Yeah.
It's just like decades and decades of backstory.
Mm.
And I just think that some arcs, when they make it required, it's for me personally, it's kind of like a turn off.
Uh,
Yeah. If it's easy to get into, I might pick it up.
yeah, Sometimes you do need to know that Doc Ock finger banged fucking Peter Parker at science camp.
I like that episode a lot.
Just,
One of my
Peter! No. Damn, I would get Val revenge. Alright, so that's our show for this week, guys. We will be back next Thursday. And then let me make sure if I can get this right. Where is it? There it is. And then join us Sunday. It's going to be the Miami Comic Book League presents the 4th annual Miami Con 4 Comic Book and Comic Art Show. March 19th, 2023. We are bringing the heat. Buy, sell, and trade. Meet local collectors and dealers. Golden Age, Silver Age, Modern Comics, original comic book art. Special guest artists to be announced. Pullman Miami Airport Hotel, 5800 Blue Lagoon Drive. You can catch us there. $10 entry fee. Come by. We're going to be there. I don't know the hours. I think it's like 10 to 5 or something like that.
Don't forget to like and share.
Fabian already says it's a good show.
Yeah.
If you're a comic book collector, come through. And see you next week.